Joe Rogan, a man who once prided himself on seeking truth, Xing out the fake, and being one of the realest in this podcast game, who has now stopped seeking truth, bringing in the fake, and he's now a Trump glazer. And as someone who has watched the Joe Rogan podcast and has been interested in it, I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast when I was like 12 to like 14 years old. But after a while, he started bringing on people and saying things that weren't really aligning with the sentiments that he started this whole thing out with. And a lot of people are starting to realize that, and they're starting to distance themselves away from Joe Rogan, whether it's his core fan base who have been calling him out since I think around like 2021, 2022. That was when I first started hearing people call out Joe Rogan left and right, like, oh, you ain't respond to this, you ain't say nothing about this, like, what is this, saying stuff like that. And now even some of his own friends are quietly turning on him, man. But let's get into this video with Joe Rogan's friends are quietly turning on him. Video by American Redact. Let's get into this, man. And one, if you don't know the Joe Rogan situation and like everything that's going on, like this man is falling from grace, kind of like Dave Chappelle. We're gonna get into Dave Chappelle in a different video, but it's brazy and y'all gonna see why. Let's get into it. Let's go.
What was that like, beating the Oval off?
Pretty strange. The whole thing was strange. How about sending him a text message explaining everything to him and him saying, let's do it?
Whoa.
Dude, let's do it. And then the next day,
that's his problem.
sees
He
me.
keeps saying, yeah, let's do it. He's getting text from BB. He goes, yeah, f it.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we schmooze.
Hey, y'all, I hope y'all peep that nervous laugh from Joe, bro. This is a man who's getting pressured right now on his own podcast.
I'm into free healthcare.
Maybe next time we schmooze him into a Protect Our Parks.
Yeah, we got
you drop in here.
Yo, brother.
See, bro over here said maybe we should famoose him into getting us free healthcare. This man Joe Rogan spins it, and instead of going off of that whole free healthcare spiel and maybe getting into that, he instantly spins it into, oh, maybe we should have him on the podcast. Like, no.
Next time we schmooze him into a Protect Our Parks.
Yeah, we got
you drop in here.
Yo, brother. Let's do free healthcare.
Come on, dog.
Alright, so it looks like Joe Rogan's insane Trump glaze is being subtly called out by Joe Rogan's closest comedy pals. Like on the most recent Protect Our Parks, whenever Rogan would start up the propaganda machine, Shane immediately voiced his thoughts and criticisms about Trump and the current state.
Hey, bro, see, this is why I fuck with Shane, bro. Shane, his ass, because some of Joe Rogan's friends, I know this video is titled Joe Rogan's friends are quietly turning on him, but it's like a slight minutia of his friends that are turning on him. A lot of his friends that are on the podcast, they stay fucking quiet. If they have any opposing opinions, I haven't heard them yet. Period.
The country. And just last week, Tim Dillon made an entire sketch mocking Ibogaine on his podcast, which is hilariously enough one of the only podcasts that Rogan listens to every week without fail. And of course, these aren't like direct confrontational callouts or anything like that, but his friends are obviously much more talented than Joe Rogan when it comes to comedy. And they know that it's actually considered hack to make your material.
The reasons why I found out about Joe Rogan were literally because of his podcast. I don't think if you ask the majority of people, oh, how did you find out about Joe Rogan? They're going to be like, oh, yeah, from his comedy skits. Like, that is a short percentage of the world, bro. I'm not going to lie. Because one, for a majority of us, that's not how we were introduced to him. But also, two, looking back at some of his comedy shit, that shit was some ass. That shit was horrible.
Full of pro-Trump stuff, like Joe Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe are doing nowadays. They also probably witnessed how Joe treated Theo Vaughn on the JRE episode he did with him about a month ago too, so they're most likely aware of how lost in the sauce Joe Rogan is with Donald Trump now, and they're deliberately choosing not to play along with it. Like in this most recent Protect Our Parks episode, Joe Rogan would constantly try to bring up how savage and hilarious he thinks Donald Trump is, and every time he did this, the room would just go completely flat. Like Joe just bombs constantly in this episode.
Oh, interesting.
Bro's bombing comedically and within the podcast too. Shit brazy.
Airport in Philly, and an ICE agent was like, "Yo, my man, what's up?" And I was like, "Yo, chill." Don't ask me for a picture.
Do you see that Trump renamed it instead of ICE? Now it's nice.
I saw that.
It's nice now instead of ICE.
So now you're protesting nice.
It's national. Immigrations, customs, enforcement.
He's done it again.
That reminds me.
And now it's nice. Yay.
Our leader.
Ugh.
That's funny.
He's a wild boy.
Still funny.
That shit is not funny, Joe. It's not. Bro, taking people out of their homes, taking people from their families, that shit is not funny, B. And if we were really as hard on immigration as we say we were, some of the people in our office probably shouldn't be here either if we gonna be on that immigration type of timing. But I ain't gonna say too much.
It is funny calling it nice. Is your thing about to go off? Is that where you're stopping
I
it?
just realized I left my kid in a Somali daycare. I gotta go pick him up.
So these Rogan Sphere comics are obviously pulling back from the Trump train and leaving Rogan there all by himself, especially Shane Gillis. I mean, Mark Normand and Ari Shaffir were sort of just happy to be there, but it felt as if Shane Gillis was just speaking his mind in this episode without the fear of consequence from the podcast king himself, which is actually a nice part about Shane Gillis living in Austin and being a regular at the Mothership, because at this point in his career, he's obviously way bigger than anything Rogan related. So he simply doesn't need Joe Rogan at all. Like, if anything, Rogan desperately needs Shane, you know? So as you'll see shortly here, when Joe Rogan starts bragging about the Ibogaine approval he did with Donald Trump in the White House.
This is a crazy picture, dude.
Starts bragging about the Ibogaine approval.
I might actually use this on my thumbnail. This is a crazy picture, man.
He did with Donald Trump in the White House. Without even acknowledging it, Shane Gillis just butts in and asks Rogan why they can't get free healthcare, which is pretty funny because Donald Trump strongly opposes free healthcare, as he views it as socialist, unaffordable, and destructive to quality medical care. So, being that Rogan is completely and utterly compromised, this just put him in sort of a bind.
There we go.
It's a wild time to be alive, kids.
It's wild.
But at least we're going to have drugs soon.
That's pretty nice.
Well, at least all those people that are hooked on pills are going to get off of them. A lot of them are, at least. It's going to at least give them something that works.
How come we can't get free healthcare?
Yeah, right?
Why don't we do that?
That has been one of the biggest questions I've had since learning more about things politically and geographically. Because there are places like Brazil who have a lower GDP than we do, and they have free healthcare. So the argument of, oh, it would be financially irresponsible for us to have free healthcare, that shit don't make sense. That shit doesn't make sense. Brazil has a lower GDP than us, and somehow they have free healthcare. Canada has free healthcare, bro. Israel, that little tiny place that is just fucking us raw dog, has free healthcare. This place that damn near owns us, which Israel is obviously not as big as America. They have free healthcare. So why the fuck don't we? Like it's not making sense.
Why can't we do that?
I bet if they took all the money from fraud, it would pay for healthcare 10 times
Or
over.
Ukraine or Israel.
Oh, yeah.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Right.
Well, that's what's annoying. All these politics are like, if we get this
Afghanistan,
much money, we can
Iraq,
cure this.
Yemen.
I'm
So
like,
let me
you
ask you
have all
this.
this money. What are you
Somalia.
doing?
I think 100% free healthcare would be an awesome thing. But you also want doctors to be incentivized to be really good at their jobs.
For sure, but
So
also,
you want like
They're not
Dr.
now.
Gettleman,
Well, why
the guy
can't-
that did your knee and did my knee. He's a
Private.
bad.
No,
why
bad
can't we
mother-
have? Why can't we
Bro,
have
doctors now aren't even incentivized to do their job, and like that doesn't make sense.
universal health care and private doctors?
Yes,
Yeah.
we should be able to have both of those things.
Like
Yes.
public
Yeah.
school and private
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
The most satisfying part about this topic of conversation, though, was when they put it into the AI sponsor of Joe's show, Perplexity, which Rogan
That's
seems
also another thing, bro. The AI sponsors on his podcast recently have been brazy. And I know at least 2016, 2017, Joe Rogan would be so opposed to AI. He would be so opposed to AI. I don't know what changed. I mean, I do know what changed, and we're gonna get into that towards the latter end of the video. But 2016 Joe would not have a Perplexity sponsorship. You know what I'm
rely
saying?
on way too heavily nowadays. Like, it honestly seems like Perplexity is going to replace Jamie eventually here. So ironically enough, when they put in what free healthcare would look like in the United States, Perplexity actually farts out this huge article about how free healthcare would literally cut total costs in half, which makes Joe Rogan all of a sudden skeptical of AI.
Universal healthcare system in America would cost approximately 3.0 to 3.2 trillion annually. Oh.
That's a lot.
Which is actually less than the current system that costs around 5.3 trillion per year. So you're talking about a savings.
So look, bro, free healthcare would literally cut that cost in half. So I hope to all the people that are watching that like have that whole "oh my gosh, free healthcare would destroy the economy" argument. I hope this shows you that you are completely fucking wrong. Hold on, let me move my camera just so y'all can see it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Y'all see that right there? Read it and fucking weep. Read it and weep.
Of almost
Whoa.
50%.
Why don't we get free healthcare?
So a
Yeah.
savings of $450 billion annually while providing coverage to all Americans, according to Perplexity, our AI sponsor, which is never wrong.
And of course, just like Rogan did with Theo when Theo started exposing everything wrong with Joe's alleged handlers, Joe immediately switches topics with Shane when Perplexity puts out this information, which then makes Shane double down with his support for free healthcare, which is pretty funny because the conversation wouldn't have gotten so political so quickly if Rogan hadn't gone there himself.
Yeah.
But this whole thing actually came after 20 minutes or so of Rogan going on his usual propaganda-laced rant that features a lot of right-leaning talking points. So Rogan really put this on himself here.
That was one thing he was trying to do.
It kind of blows. It's embarrassing.
All right, let's put it this.
Right?
How much would it cost if school, like higher education, was free?
There's too much money in that. They won't do it.
Well, that's the same exact thing with healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
They make a fortune.
subsidized.
We're making
That's
too
where we're
much.
at
So
as a country. It's all
And it's
I mean,
gone
it's the
up.
same reason we're doing wars.
Yeah.
Money?
just to make money.
Of course.
Yeah, literally,
Oil,
just to
nothing
make
else.
money.
Not
thought it
even
was-
just oil, but defense contracts. They need.
They're raking it in.
That Zelensky's a mooch. He just keeps wanting more.
I don't think it's.
100%.
Oh, you think it's his?
No, I think it's
Adesanya?
us. It's us.
It's us.
It's,
It was
it's
us.
the U.S.
It's money, but it's all together. It's all a
188
big,
billion.
big scam, Ponzi scheme.
Damn.
Everybody's making money.
You should get Trump on here.
We're doing great. Don't let anybody lie to you.
Yeah. maybe next time we schmooze them into free healthcare.
Maybe next time we schmooze them into a protect our parks.
Yeah, we got
Trump being in here.
brother.
That dumbass switch, bro. No. Focus back on the free healthcare thing that you just tried to diminish and be like, oh no, but fuck up the economy.
Come on, dog.
So as soon as Joe wants to get all serious and political, everyone needs to stop and listen. But right when Shane goes into this spiel about free healthcare and how everything in America is corrupt, then all of a sudden Joe wants to get silly and start cracking jokes, which is just so annoying for everyone around Joe. But obviously, this is how Rogan operates. Not just on his show, but in life in general. Like, he always needs to be in control of the narrative around him. So much so that he really never does anyone else's podcasts, and he doesn't even perform comedy outside of the Mothership now. Like, he's built a really solid echo chamber over there in Austin. And now it's been so long that he's deeply terrified of leaving its orbit. So anyways, after Shane clearly takes a stance against the administration here, Joe proceeds to do some heavy damage control by stating that all presidents are evil, which I guess immediately forgives Trump of all his wrongdoing. But the best part about that is that Shane just goes directly back into how terrible the healthcare system is in America, and how nothing's really being done about it, which was just awesome to hear.
You're not going to get all good.
For any drug.
You know, you're not going to get all good with any president either. You know,
Right.
you're going to get a lot of bad shit because all these people are surrounded by
mostly bad.
demons. They're surrounded by war hawks and demons and defense contractors and scam artists in the pharmaceutical industry. There's all these fucking people that are trying to make sure that they can make the most amount of money possible. Just all
If that's the case, why would you hang around one of these demons? Like why would you hang around Trump if you had this notion? Please let me know.
snorting demons, allegedly.
I was watching this documentary on the homeless here in Austin, and they're talking about how like I was on schizophrenia medicine, I can't afford it anymore. And they're out there just sprinting
What
around.
happens if you take
Damn.
schizophrenia medicine and you don't have schizophrenia? You know?
Yeah, the healthcare
That's-
thing is really embarrassing.
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
relevant
let's get
question
some
to
really
ask.
mental
Embarrassing.
institutions and some free healthcare for these fellas
Yeah,
outside.
asylums.
Yeah,
I don't know
Get
how
back.
to. I don't know how to. Obviously, no one knows how
Yeah,
to
we
fix
don't know
it.
how to
We got to
do
do
it.
something.
A
'cause it's-
giant percentage of those people are addicted to drugs, right?
Yeah.
A giant
Oh,
percent fentanyl zombies. You need ibogaine for all those people, mental health facilities. You need to get them on whatever medication to fix their schizophrenia.
And it's not even like a fucking goodwill thing. It's also like we need to
They're
clean
breaking
like
their cars.
selfishly.
Safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for everybody. So what are we doing? Why? Whatever.
Skid
I
Row
agree.
in
What's
Los
the fucking hold up?
Skid Row in Los Angeles is 50 blocks.
50 blocks.
I ain't gonna lie. One thing about Skid Row will make you appreciate life so much. When I went to LA for the first time and I looked down Skid Row and saw that, bro, dog. Shout out to all my people in Skid Row, bro. Still, man, doing what they can to get by, bro. Like, seeing Skid Row will humble you and will make you appreciate the life that you have, whether you're in a mansion, in an apartment, paycheck to paycheck, whatever it is, bro. Seeing Skid Row will make you be thankful that you at least have a place to rest your head at the end of the day. But the fact that Skid Row even exists as a thing, when we have billionaires that are making $3,000 to $4,000 a second, not a minute, not an hour, not a day or in 24 or 48 hours, $3,000 to $4,000 a second. And we have people still on Skid Row. That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. And people in the government are saying, oh, we don't even have any money for the homeless people and yada yada, but we have all this money to send to whatever fucking place to do another fucking war. Like that shit doesn't make sense to me,
Last
man.
time I looked, it said Americans pay more than 2 times the next country for healthcare, and we get the 17th best coverage.
Well,
And-
it's so
and we're the
fat, too.
sickest.
We're paying 2 times more to be on the 17th level when it comes to coverage. And we're getting sicker. Like, that doesn't... Oh, my God. Like, already... This is just showing that the system is not working. The system that was designed is not working at all, period. If anything, it's
Yeah,
pushing us
it's
down.
nuts. We spend the most money,
I was
and we're
just
the
in
sickest.
Toronto. It was clean.
Yeah, you just go right to a doctor.
Right.
You
Even
can
just
see.
driving around, I was like, "This is crazy. How are we getting? Why is America dog?"
I know. And our shit is locked up at the CVS.
Yeah.
They don't have that. Everybody's just
Yeah.
stealing.
Well, there's a lot of stealing.
So yeah, Shane clearly wasn't playing around with Rogan this episode. And for a good portion, it got into this serious political conversation, as you just saw. Because it's like, Rogan has clearly shown that he has some sway in the government. I mean, he got that approval for ibogaine literally overnight. So why doesn't he push Trump to do other things that might benefit more Americans than just ibogaine? It just seems like Rogan is pretty picky choosy with what he talks to Trump about. I mean, he was on this podcast complaining about how no one from the Epstein files have been arrested and whatnot, and how nothing's really happened since all that was released. But he was literally in the Oval Office the other day and clearly has Trump's number on speed dial. So it was pretty annoying to hear him play dumb and act like he can't go to the root of evil himself and ask him these very things.
But he won't because that
so
nigga's
crazy.
scared.
No one's gone to jail for
It's
that.
pretty surprising that they're still
Here's
not
what's
releasing
crazy.
it.
Here's what's crazy. No arrests. No one's like being brought in. Meanwhile, Comey is getting arrested for a photo of seashell.
Do you know why no arrests have been made? It's because the people that would make those arrests, they are also in those fucking files. Like, when that, I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Pam Bondi or somebody else who said something along the lines of like, nobody in the Epstein files is gonna get charged because of the fact that the people that would charge them are also in these files as well, so they would get charged too. Like, that's the reason why. That is literally the reason why.
That say
Yes.
8647.
He's getting arrested for that.
What's
he's getting
86?
charged.
What's 8647?
86, get rid of. President 47.
But you could say kill.
Thankfully, though, Shane Gillis might be one of the only people on Earth that can speak their mind around Rogan and not get any pissiness from Rogan as a result. Because again, Rogan desperately needs Shane Gillis for the Mothership. Like, that was a huge steal of Rogan to even get Shane to move to Austin. So Shane knows his position and
he
knows
got
he
him to
won't get any
move all the
pushback
way
from
there?
Rogan.
That is
in this Protect Our Parks
crazy.
episode, Shane even mentioned how the Mothership crowd is full of people just itching to hear racist jokes, which Rogan in the past has been completely offended by when other comics say this sort of thing. But being that it was Shane, Rogan had no choice but to just fake laugh it off.
There's just a couple jokes that I'm like, I know they're funny, but it's like, man, that's gonna be tough to tell publicly.
They're
You
dark.
you had a couple jokes in there that were like, you can hear the reaction of like laughter or like, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a fucking Mothership crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a bunch of people that are like, I paid good money to see somebody be racist tonight.
And they're like, bro, calm down.
It's hilarious.
Those the black
And
jokes.
the fact that the Mothership and thus Joe Rogan are harboring more of an audience of people that would want to see that type of thing, racism, homophobia, some right-leaning ass shit, you know what I'm saying, shows the direction in which Joe is going. That nigga's not truth-seeking no more, bro.
Go hard.
The black jokes go
I
hard.
do.
So really only Shane Gillis can pull that off in front of Rogan's face. Because again, Rogan hates this narrative that the Mothership is a far-right cesspool of people who just want to hear anti-trans, racially motivated jokes, and everything like that. Like if Mark Maron said this, Rogan would obviously be heated. But Gillis gets the pass here because Rogan knows he's cooked without Shane's pull. So whenever Joe Rogan gets a taste of reality, it always results in Rogan being caught off guard, and it's just hilarious to witness in real time. Because Joe is super protected in this bubble he's created for himself in Austin. And believe it or not, he's actually in a smaller bubble in the bubble that is the Mothership. Like when they were talking about the green room hang in this podcast, Rogan and his comedy Rat Pack insufferably mention how they never want to go into Mitzi's bar during normal hours because there's too many normies in there, saying that they prefer to stay in the secret green room until everyone in Mitzi's bar leaves. Like that's how much Rogan is scared of the masses nowadays. Truly.
It's the hangout afterwards. I had so many memories of us like go some town and just going to anybody in the street. Like, is there a place to eat around here? Like, I don't know, is it Fogo de Chao? It was like, what?
Yeah.
Well, all you need is us. Like in a green room,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to go to the bar. This
Right.
is the best.
It's the hang. The hang's everything.
Yeah, at the Mothership. It was like whenever it was like, we're going under Mitzi's. I'm like, this is a great
This
hang
is
right
great.
here. We
Yeah.
got liquor.
We got
Oh,
the,
stay right
the
here.
elites.
Yeah, but Mitzi's once it
elites.
clears out is perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, once the regular people are out. Yeah.
Yeah, once the crowd leaves.
Well, that's the cool thing about Mitzi's. It becomes a private club after
Yeah.
11
Yeah.
p.m. That's nice.
So, Rogan's just completely out of touch with reality nowadays, so it's nice whenever one of his pals unexpectedly leads him towards the light like this. But don't get me wrong, it's not like Shane Gillis and Joe Rogan are beefing or anything like that, and honestly, this stuff from Shane was super mild with everything considered. Like in comparison to what Tim Dillon just pulled off on his podcast last week, this stuff from Shane was just child's play. Because if you guys haven't seen it already, Tim Dillon pretty much did a whole skit mocking Ibogaine and how Rogan paints it like this miracle psychedelic that would solve everyone's problems overnight. And Tim did this by bringing on a paid actor pretending to be a veteran who took Ibogaine, who is now perfectly complicit with all the killing that he did in the war. So before you watch this clip here, just keep in mind again that the Tim Dillon Show is one of the only podcasts that Rogan listens to front to back every single week. Like Rogan definitely saw this and honestly was probably offended by it.
How has
pissed.
Ibogaine helped you with all of the things that you went through?
Well, since taking Ibogaine about a week and a half ago, I experienced a total liberation from any sort of judgment I had on the situations I was put in. For example, there was a moment in Iraq where we had gotten personal intel that one of our enemies attacking our Humvees had a location nearby, and when we arrived, we had we couldn't find the suspect, but his family had occupied this tent area. And in order to get him out of hiding, we decided that perhaps, a little bit of coaxing with the family would help. So intuitively, I knew the screams of his children would would elicit more than
All
the
right,
swoon
bro.
to his wife.
Of course.
Yes,
What the
yes.
fu-
So I began choking his wife.
Okay.
And I choked her for around 8 to 10 minutes, and long after the point of death, as we call it. And
Off the floor, just
I started off the floor,
Yeah.
and as her body slowly sank
Right.
into the puddle it
okay.
became.
Of course.
And those were the moments that would really keep me up at night.
I get it. And how do you feel about killing today?
Well, I felt like a part of me died when I went through this 72-hour trip.
Right.
And I did that to perhaps dozens, perhaps more people. So I was able to provide what I was able to experience. So
Yeah.
I see death as a liberation. So I have no qualms over the death I delivered to these people. And in some form or another, I'd like to deliver that again.
What the fuck?
Unbelievable. So you feel comfortable today with killing on a level that maybe you've never felt before.
Absolutely.
So you believe right now you could go and just kill a woman in front of her children and not feel that sense of guilt or shame.
No shame, no
Well,
guilt,
goddamn.
no mercy, no hesitation. These were the
Right.
things that were my problems.
So at the end of the day, none of these guys have beef with Rogan. What we're really seeing is a shift in tone with these comics in the Rogan sphere, who at one point in time were right there with Rogan when he was glazing the hell out of Donald Trump's buns. And remember, these are professional comedians, so their pushback is through jokes, sarcasm, and just refusing to play into Rogan's game. So nowadays, when Joe leans into the Trump stuff, the room doesn't really follow him anymore, which we saw in the beginning when Joe brought up how Trump's changing ice to nice.
It's nice now instead of ice.
So now you're protesting nice.
It's
And bro,
national.
he was the only one that found this funny. He was literally the only one that found this funny.
Immigrations, customs, enforcement.
He's done it again.
That reminds me.
Yeah, really.
Man, our leader.
That's funny.
He's a wild boy.
Like he really thought everyone would just burst out cackling, but instead, the room immediately fell quiet because the Trump stuff's just not funny anymore to people who aren't compromised like Joseph. So guys like Shane Gillis and Tim Dillon are comfortable enough in their own careers to let
I
that
mean, I would say if they stay around Joe for too long, bro, they might get compromised, but we don't know. We don't know.
tension sit there instead of smoothing it over. But anyways, guys, that is it for the video. Make sure to
Shout out to American Redact for this video. Go check out that man's channel. He is a goat, a literal YouTube goat. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like I said in the intro, I'm not liking the trajectory in which Joe Rogan's going down. But this nigga's compromised. He's cooked. What else can we do? What else can we laymen do but just sit back and laugh at this man as he keeps jocking on Trump's balls and excusing people in the Epstein files and praising Israel and doing God knows what else. So yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments. I don't know if any of you guys watch Joe Rogan yourselves, but what do y'all think, man? Is this man savable or is he cooked? And a lot of people, not even just his friends, but even people that were kind of close to him in certain other industries, they're starting to like pull back and and stay away from Joe now. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I love y'all so much. Marso Mafia, the gang, Marso Mob, the squad, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.